day slot, na 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 na. All day slot, na 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 na. Welcome to another episode of The Degree of Footy, and we are feeling great today because we've secured Champions League football, but not only that, we are back for yet another episode where we're going to be talking and discussing whether Toni Kroos is actually overrated, Man City's triumph this season, plus much more. But we're going to begin with Pochettino has decided to leave Chelsea. Are we shocked by this decision?
I was shocked. I mean, you told me yesterday, and I felt like it came out of absolutely nowhere. And I'm not sure if he's left or if he's been sacked. I have no idea. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, completely amazed. If he has been sacked, terrible decision. He's got on really good form. I just can't believe it. I don't know what's gone through their heads. They've actually got a good string of games going. I know, Europa League, Chelsea want Champions League football, but it's just ridiculous.
But where they were at the first half of the season compared to where they are now, it's two completely different teams. He's got them playing with more confidence. I've seen Nicholas Jackson on his Instagram was saying goodbye boss in quite an emotional way, so the players clearly liked him. So it's clearly the owners at Chelsea just once again making the wrong decision, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, it's that American Tab Bowley who's ploughed them into the ground yet again. I mean, my source that we heard that from was that's football, and that's not where you want to be hearing it. But yeah, really surprising move. It was like you say, the last 6 games or so. He's got not last 6 games. He's got them from 11th to 6th.
Something like that, yeah.
Got them Europa League. I mean, yeah.
Carabao Cup final as well.
And when he came in, the squad he had was huge. Chelsea had so many players, and he didn't even start Cole Palmer at the start of the season. He was still discovering the squad, and now at the end of the season, he's clearly got his squad. He knows what he likes. He knows the tactics he wants to use, and he's actually starting to build on something. But they're now back to square one. So
can you speak, mate?
I nearly messed that up, but yeah, they're back to route one. So I don't know what's going on.
They've had a lot of injuries as well. Reece James, Ben Chilwell, the more senior players in the team. Yeah. Levi Colwill, who's actually had an impressive start to the season, was probably the only Chelsea player that did. Yeah. He's been injured. Enzo's been injured, and he's still got them to 6th place, which is no disgrace in my opinion.
And Nkunku's been out pretty much all of season.
Yeah, Nkunku. I forgot about Nkunku, and I think that says it all.
Who replaces Pochettino?
I think it should be Ruben Amorim. Get him in, get him through the door. He plays a 5-2-3, very structured formation. I think that's what Chelsea need. Good at bedding in young players. For me, that's who I'd pick.
No, rubbish. No. Who would you go? No. Who would you go with?
I'd go Thomas Tuchel. He knows the club. The fans love him. He loves the club. He shouldn't have been sacked in the first place. And he's a free agent right now. Bayern Munich got rid of him. Why not?
You really think Chelsea would want him back?
I don't think the owners will want him back because they sacked him already. But I think the fans would absolutely love to have him. He knows the club. He knows a lot of the players already. Why not?
Right, let's see your shout because you've been rinsing us over here.
I think that's stupid. I don't think Thomas Tuchel will come back.
Why not?
I just, the owners have gone through this whole pattern of sacking him, and then they just wouldn't have him back.
It would be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Because what he did with Chelsea, it wasn't worth sacking over. So I definitely don't think that it was like they wanted to get rid of him because it was they were arguing or something like that.
I just think it'd be embarrassing.
I think he'd come
hiring your ex-manager in that manner. I think is a bit embarrassing.
Well, I think Roberto De Zerbi would come for the job very good. I think obviously he's leaving Brighton this season. The fans tried to get him to stay with that nice little chant at the end, but I think he's a really good manager, and I think he could do good things with Chelsea.
See, for me, I think that's, if not a sideways or backwards replacement. Because I think Pochettino is.
You
a better
said this
manager.
about Lopetegui to Wolves was a sideways appointment.
Well, that is. I don't want to get into this. Lopetegui is the most sideways appointment I've seen this season.
It's like I'm watching the episode again.
Yeah,
no,
but I don't think De Zerbi is a better manager than Pochettino.
Or Tuchel or Amorim.
Yeah, I think Tuchel, Pochettino, and Amorim are all better than De Zerbi. De Zerbi is a very good manager, but he hasn't managed like a top club.
Yeah, Sassuolo and Brighton are not massive clubs, let's be honest. Yeah. Tuchel, he's done Bayern and Chelsea already, and Borussia Dortmund is PSG, yeah.
So
yeah, but for me, you don't have to manage a big club to be a successful manager at a big club. that's just a pointless case. I think you're just saying, well, because you haven't managed a top 6 team, you're not going to be any good.
Look at Graham Potter. He came from Brighton and that didn't work.
Yeah,
out.
and he did very well.
Exactly. That's a great
Yeah,
point.
but that's one example. That's a very harsh example. I mean, you've got to look at other managers who have been successful who haven't been at a top 6 team. Look at Sir Alex Ferguson at Aberdeen. He didn't go to United first and then go to Aberdeen. I mean, he went to Aberdeen and got him Champions League.
He won the European, not the European Cup. It's like the Europa League version. He won that with Aberdeen, so he did win something.
Yeah.
De Zerbi hasn't won anything.
Yeah, but you look at the squad that he's inherited and look at Chelsea's squad. He could win something with Chelsea. Look at what he did with Brighton without a strong squad in the first season. Take him to Chelsea. He's got every chance of getting them into a good run in the league, Champions League spot. I think he'd be really good.
I mean, I can see it happening, but for me, I think that's a sideways appointment from Pochettino. I don't see the progress there.
I find it strange that you said yes to Ruben Amorim when we were talking about Liverpool, but to Chelsea you're suddenly like no. Why is that?
Yeah, because I was maybe a bit excited about just when it's your own club. There's that excitement that there's a manager that's going to come in.
Yeah, all right.
And look, now I think I'm glad he didn't come to Liverpool.
But Ruben Amorim's young. He has this aura about him, like a young Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, but he hasn't managed a top team.
Well, Sporting are better than Brighton and Sassuolo. Let's be real.
I agree. Sporting Champions League, Europa League,
and he's won the league title there twice, and it was their first time in about 20, 30 years that they had won it.
Yeah, but if we're going from your guys' theory, he won't be any good because he hasn't managed a top team.
I think Sporting are a top team
in the world.
No, all right, maybe.
In terms of Europe,
I still think they're better than Brighton and Sassuolo. Though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, go by your theory.
This wasn't my theory.
Yeah, well, going by your stupid theory that you've got to manage a top 6 team to go to a top 6 club.
No, we didn't say that. But for a club that needs stability like Chelsea, an experienced manager is what's needed. They've already done the test run with Potter.
So you're saying then that Ruben Amorim...
I disagree with that. I'm disagreeing with that.
Well, you're disagreeing with that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how come?
Ruben Amorim isn't... He's not really experienced like the way you're talking about, I think. Amorim has experience, but he's not experienced like Thomas Tuchel. It's like three very different managers in the end.
It sounds to me like you're backtracking on what you're saying.
Going in
I am.
Here, aren't we?
Are we sure though De Zerbi even left?
Well, the fans were saying they want him to stay, and it's almost like you could tell on his face he's sort of thinking about it, but I think he will leave. I think there's something's not right at Brighton, and I think he's a better manager than Brighton, but I think that step up to Chelsea, especially leaving from Poch, isn't where it's at.
I'm glad he's left. Brighton was so boring this season.
Yeah.
Really?
This season,
yeah, maybe.
Last season, unreal. This season, they've just been a bit boring. Finished 11th.
They've had a lot of injuries, to be fair.
Yeah, they have.
It wasn't as successful. They didn't have the best Europa League campaign, so.
I found it weird though, because on the last episode of Match of the Day, the commentator who did the Brighton Man United game, he was saying, I spoke to De Zerbi on Thursday night, and he was talking about planning for next season, and then obviously on Saturday announced that he's leaving. So it's all very quickly happened. So something must have gone wrong at the hierarchy with the club. I don't know.
Do you think it's a bit like when Lopetegui left Wolves? There's been a disagreement there, and obviously he's probably not got the same ambition. Because you look at this time last year, we talked about De Zerbi. He's a really top manager, but now it's died off a bit. I don't really know why.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, look, it's difficult to thrive in a league where Manchester City have won another Premier League title. Do you think Pep Guardiola deserved to win Manager of the Season?
I think it's a difficult one because ultimately he got more points than he did last year. I think they scored, maybe they didn't score more goals, but he got more points than they did last year, which is very impressive. But I think you have to look at the achievements of Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta for me personally. But I understand why Guardiola got it. You won the league.
There's always this conception, right, that just because a team who's probably not like the underdog has done well, that top managers like Pep Guardiola, because he's got the squad that he's inherited, that he's not going to do. He doesn't deserve it as much.
Yeah,
as perhaps.
I get what you're saying.
But you have to look at what he's done with it. Not just getting results, the team performance. I mean, if they're 1-0, 2-0 down, they're coming back 3-2, 4-2. They're not just giving in. Every player on that pitch puts in a performance. I mean, look at Gvardiol he's brought in this season. I mean, the second half of this season has been incredible. And I think he 100% deserved to win Manager of the Season, 100%. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't shadow the fact what Emery's done, because he's done a very good job with Aston Villa. But you can't take that away from Pep Guardiola. You really can't.
See, I disagree. I think it should have been Emery, and that's that. Because I think that's expected of Guardiola to win the league.
Yeah, but I'm saying from a player perspective, what he's doing with his team.
Oh yeah, it's exceptional. But I think the achievement. If you told me before the season that City were going to win the league, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, but
You'd
that's
bet
how
the
good
house
Pep
on it.
Guardiola is.
Yeah, but I think the achievements that Emery has done this season is bigger than the achievements.
Well, of course,
Pep's done this
it
season.
looks like that because he's taken Villa from, let's be honest, a mid-table sort of maybe breaching on Conference League team into the top 4. That's a huge achievement. But I don't think that can say, well, it's just I expected Pep to get in the thing. That's how good Pep is, that you're expecting him to finish in the top of the league.
But you can't go on expectations. You have to go on this season. I think this season, Emery. I mean, how Villa getting top 4? That's unreal.
Yeah.
It has to be Emery, I think.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. 100%.
No, I
he
get
was
where
a
you're coming
shout, and
from.
I'm not saying that he's done bad this season, but you can't let that shadow the fact that Pep Guardiola's done an incredible job.
Oh yeah, he's been exceptional. It's almost like you want to give out 2 manager season awards, don't you?
Yeah,
Really?
it's like you look at Jurgen Klopp. We had that. I know we were hit with injuries, but we had that terrible season where we had bloody Reece and Nat Phillips at the back.
Reece Williams and Nat Phillips.
There we go. I can speak. And that to me was almost like Klopp was just sort of running out of ideas of what to do. Pep has not had that since he joined Manchester City.
No, and he's such a success. And if City don't win the league, it's seen as complete failure. So you have to give respect to Pep. But I do think
I've just had a thought.
Go on.
Right, and talking about Liverpool, as a Liverpool fan, was Joel Matip and Thiago actually that good?
As not a Liverpool fan, I'll start. I think Matip has been a great servant to the club. You got him on a free transfer. What was it? It was last season, wasn't it, when he was unreal?
I think it was season before.
Was it the season before? Because there was this one season where him and Van Dijk were just an unreal centre-back partnership. That was on the final day where you still could have won the title, wasn't it? But Thiago Alcantara, I mean, such a boring footballer in my opinion. Passes it backwards and sideways. That's all he offers. So for me, Matip, well in, but Thiago, he's overrated.
I actually agree. I think Joel Matip, I will defend him till with everything I've got. He's been incredible. We love Joel Matip, don't we, mate? He's,
100%, yeah.
He just seems like a fan favourite. He's a funny bloke.
He's so brilliant. And he's actually been a really good bloke. Watching him go forward was so exciting. You didn't know what he's going to do next, did you? My favourite game was probably recently was him against Leeds when we won 6-0, was it?
Yeah, and he scored.
Yeah, and he scored. Oh, what a player. But Thiago, he's been struck with injury. The only thing good he's done was score against Porto.
See, I disagree with you boys. I absolutely love Thiago Alcantara. I think when he's fit, he's when he was at his peak, he was one of the best midfielders in the world. I think he was brilliant. I think he was world class.
But mate,
honestly, I
the
love
question,
him.
what you just said is when he's fit.
And when he was in his peak, he was never in his peak at Liverpool.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. But I think we got him for 30 million, and we were promised a brilliant midfielder. Yes, the last 2 seasons have been injury struck, but the season where you spoke about earlier, when Van Dijk got injured, I thought he was brilliant. Season after that, I thought he was brilliant. So I think he's been a good servant for the club, and I think that shouldn't be overshadowed over his injury from the last 2 seasons.
I don't think he was a Klopp signing though, because Klopp obviously likes a gegenpressing, high energy, high intensity style. And Thiago's just, I know it's sometimes good to have a player that can slow it down, but off the ball, it's like I'll never see him pressing, I'll never see him running really. He just seemed very slow and languid. I'm not sure if you agree, Harvey. But
Look, top talent player, he's incredible.
Oh, yeah,
really good
that's
player.
not up for debate.
That's not what we're saying about that. But for Liverpool, never was fit. He scored a goal or 2. He never really changed anything, I don't think. He had good performances, but he didn't impact the season. He didn't change the season. And for me, just Joel Matip, no debate, incredible.
Oh, 100%.
Thiago, I'm all right.
See, I still disagree. I just think he was never going to be the player that replaced Wijnaldum.
Hey, didn't you say that Giroud was as good as Peter Crouch?
Huh?
And Emil
Heskey.
I might have said that, yeah. I'm just saying, some people agree with me. To
be fair, people in the comment section did agree with him.
I've got
one guy.
That will do me. That will do me, boys.
Who's joining in the Premier League though? Leeds or Southampton?
I think it'll be Southampton. I think most people are expecting Leeds, and I'm not surprised why with their attacking talent. I think so.
Looking at Leeds' record in the Championship, in the playoffs.
To be honest, I haven't looked at their record in the playoffs.
Tell us about it.
Well, I don't extensively research into it, but it's not very good. Obviously, they got knocked out to Derby, didn't they?
Yeah. But that was in the semi-final,
You
wasn't
Rams!
it? Never do that again.
No.
No, I think Southampton, just because... Actually, I don't know. It's so difficult. I think they're two very evenly matched teams with good individual players. But I think it's going to be a Shea Adams masterclass.
Yeah.
No, I think Leeds... Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, go on.
I think Leeds... All I want to say is I think Leeds will win it. I think there's this conception Leeds won't win because they've got a terrible record at Wembley. Leeds will go up. I hope they do. I don't want to see Southampton in the Premier League. That's all I want to say.
I think Southampton. I've got a little bit of a soft spot. My cousin's a Southampton fan. I've been to St Mary's a few times.
What a boring stadium.
It is awful.
Yeah,
it is
terrible.
awful. I've been there in the Premier League and it was horrendous.
It is.
I'll tell you what, bud. Have you seen?
Leeds are so exciting.
Right, cheers, mate.
Let him
Sorry.
Have you seen on social media? There's the ball dancing man, P Dawson 69. Am I rambling here?
Oh yeah, on the pitch.
Yeah. Have you looked at that? Basically, there's this bald man who's a Southampton fan called P Dawson or Pete Dawson 69.
I don't know his name, but I know
He's got it on his back, and he goes on the pitch and starts like dancing with his fingers out like this, like. And there's a slow-mo of him on Sky Sports doing it. It's brilliant.
Somebody did an edit of it. It's brilliant. It's really. We'll show you after.
I need to get TikTok.
Yeah,
the last 2
honestly,
weeks.
mate,
I
so
will show you. But I was speaking to my cousin, and he went, and he apparently he can see him from his seat.
Oh.
And he gets up, like he sits front row. He gets up and just starts doing it in the middle. It's brilliant.
So
It's
you
so
want
good.
Southampton to go up because
Just 'cause I want to see him in the Prem. I want to see Pete Dawson 69 in the Prem.
Oh, brilliant.
Will you guys be watching the game?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
100%.
Why not?
I'm not working, so I'll be beer watching the playoffs.
Happy days.
Oh,
Hopefully it's
sure.
good weather.
Yeah, happy days. And I want to talk to you both about Toni Kroos because we were talking. Was he overrated?
In my opinion, definitely not. He's been one of the best midfielders of our generation. I think it was Casemiro who said, obviously they played together at Real Madrid, he was like, the way we play is all down to Toni Kroos. If we want to play faster and get a goal, he decides it. If we need to slow down the game, he decides it. And to be honest, when I saw it pop up on Instagram on my phone, I was so sad. Because I just think he's
one. You cried yourself
one.
to sleep, did you?
You what?
You cried yourself to sleep.
Oh, I did. It was a sad night because I absolutely love him, but hopefully he can win the Champions League and bid farewell. But he's not overrated.
I don't know how I feel. I don't think overrated. I just don't see him. It's like on the level of Luka Modric. I think he's slightly below.
Well, yeah, Luka Modric's absolutely sensational.
But
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
He's not like in the hierarchy of midfielders, but he's definitely not like overrated. Like, he's a very, very good midfielder and will go down as a very good midfielder for Real Madrid. But he's not in like Zidane Modric level for me.
Yeah, he's not overrated at all. He's been incredible for Real Madrid. A really good CDM who just put in a shift, strong, could pass a ball.
Oh, he's the best passer of a ball in our generation, I think. Not creatively, I think that's probably De Bruyne, but just like keeping the ball for me, it's.
When he played Liverpool, when we played in their stadium when it was a bit closed off, was it in the Champions League?
Yeah.
And he played that ball through. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
Was it to Vinny Jr.?
Yeah. Over Trent.
Oh my God! I mean, it was so good. He's just such a good talent. He's incredible. He really is. You can't say he's overrated.
No, well, you can't say he's overrated because he's won, 4 or 5 Champions Leagues and the World Cup with Germany.
Is he even rated?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
I think he's underappreciated, isn't he?
100%. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah. Brilliant.
But it's just the way it's come out of nowhere that he's going to retire. But
yeah,
it
wasn't on.
But if you want to retire at the top with Real Madrid in Germany at the Euros, your home country hosting the Euros, then I think that's a good way to
Is
go.
He in the squad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came back.
He came back from
in the
retirement,
last
didn't
friendlies, and he's made it into the team.
Yeah.
He'll start, I think.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Now we're going to get your guessing game going now because we're going to play a little game. You're going to have to guess the top 3 players, excluding goalkeepers, who have played the most amount of minutes in the Premier League this season.
Okay.
Right, so take a guess. Who do you think?
Go on, Henry.
Your top 3.
Top 3. Max Kilman.
Yep.
Am I doing 3 in a row? Yeah.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Okay.
But surely then I can just copy his.
Oh yeah, go on. What's yours?
So I'll go James Tarkowski in there.
Tarkowski.
I'll go.
How do you say it?
Tarkowski.
Tarkowski.
I'll go William Saliba.
Ben White.
Oh, that's gonna be my one. I'll go. Oh, now I'm struggling.
You can say Ben White if you want.
I would have said Ben White. But I'll go with Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk.
I'll go Declan Rice.
Declan
He
Rice.
always seems to be playing, yeah.
Right, okay, so the top 3, right, some of them are alphabetical. So you actually got all 3 of them. Max Kilman at 1. He played every single minute.
That's very impressive.
3,420 minutes, and that is the maximum amount you could play,
Yeah.
excluding extra time and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Which actually shocked me. I didn't know he played that much.
Well, he's captain as well, isn't he?
Yeah, true. Second, Saliba, who again played every game, every minute.
Fair play.
Yeah.
And in third is James Tarkowski. He played 1 minute less.
Oh, damn it.
3,419.
So all the centre-backs getting the minutes, eh?
Yeah.
It's because it's
So-
the easiest position to play.
But with goalkeepers, Anana and Vicario would have been in there.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Leno?
And Leno, yeah.
Yeah.
He just
Kaminsky?
no. Kaminsky was. He's in. He's got the most marks, but he wasn't top. He was like not top
Okay.
3.
Yeah.
So now we're going to guess then who is on current market value. What's the top 5 most valued players in the Premier
Should we
League?
do this combined?
Yeah. Okay.
So like we
should
yeah.
go 1 for 1.
Yeah. You go first, mate.
Well, for start, I'll go Phil Foden.
Is that your one?
Yeah, I think that's my. Do you think there's one?
I think Haaland's number 1.
Haaland
yeah.
1. You're going Foden.
Okay,
one.
I'll go Foden.
Okay,
too.
yeah.
Declan Rice. Do you
I think Declan Rice. I think Saka's above Declan Rice, 100%.
Yeah, Saka.
And I think
That's a good shout.
my top 3 is Haaland, Foden, and Saka. And then who else do you think?
Saliba, young
Yeah, he
centre back.
could be up there.
Um,
I don't think there's any Liverpool players.
Vardiol? No, I don't.
No,
We've got
Vardiol,
quite an
no.
aging squad.
Julian Alvarez?
Potentially.
No. I think Saliba. We'll go with
Yeah.
Saliba, and then
Do you think Rice?
yeah, we'll go Rice.
Yeah.
You're going to go Rice.
Yeah.
It's very
Did he
Arsenal.
just make it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Arsenal have quite a young squad, don't
Yeah.
they? So. and I
Oh,
feel
okay.
like youth brings money.
That's interesting. You're missing out a few players. Let's see what the top 5 are. So in first, you were right, was Erling Haaland, 180 million euros.
Blimey.
Second, Phil Foden, which I actually think he should be a lot more than this, 130 million euros.
Yeah.
Third, same, Saka. So you got your top 3 right.
mate.
Okay.
130 million. And you said, who Alvarez did you put? No, it was Saliba.
Saliba, Rice.
Yeah, Saliba isn't in it.
Wow.
Rice is. Rice is 4th with 110 million euros.
Okay.
And then 5th, none of you got this right. Take a guess who you think it might be.
Ooh.
Is it top 4 club? Like, did they finish
Yeah.
top? Okay. Martinelli?
Martinelli?
Just because he's young.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking towards Jack Grealish. No, he's too old, Jack Grealish, isn't he? Is it a City player?
Tis a City player, yeah.
It can't be De Bruyne, can it? He's too old,
No.
surely. Rodri.
Yeah, Rodri.
Oh,
Rodri,
of course. How
yeah.
can we forget Rodri?
Yeah.
Of course.
Odegaard misses out on 6th. Then Julian Alvarez is 7th. Bruno
Not bad,
Guimaraes is 8th. Bernardo Silva 9th. Saliba's 10th.
Wow.
Bernardo Silva 9th.
Yeah.
Saliba.
So he's valued at 80 million euros.
It's probably about right, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you think he's underrated, Bernardo Silva?
No, I think he hasn't done much for me this season, but I feel like his off the ball work goes a bit underappreciated.
Yeah. I think once he'll be one of those players. Once he leaves, people will be like, "Oh, do you know, we should have appreciated him more," because I think he's a very class footballer.
Well, we're going to talk about England, but in another episode. So that'll be next week's episode that we're going to discuss that in. But from us, that is the end of another episode. We discussed quite a lot today, lads, haven't we? We've got quite a lot. We guessed our top 3 players who have played the most amount of minutes this season. We discussed whether Toni Kroos is even rated or overrated, and a lot more.